Inglewood, Cali, shot down. We've got RIP Takeoff, another edition of Mouthpiece included. What's in his heart? Is Jerry Jones a segregationist? What's in his heart? That's what we on today on Mouthpiece included. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. This is an open panel, as always, where we talk politics. The link to join is pinned at the top of the chat. So if and when you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Yeah? You're talking politics. That's sports and politics. Take this time to like, share, subscribe. We're going to jump this off after we do some house cleaning business. And it'll take 2 minutes. So 2 minutes. Appreciate y'all patience.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use,
Mouthpiece included,
for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise
Mouthpiece included.
Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Turn up, turn up.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Okay, I'm in my local Ralph's, and this happened.
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can
Man, where do they keep the honey around here? Excuse me, you know where the honey is?
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Bears.
Who wants cheese head?
I don't go to church, and
God
I know
understand.
God understands. I can stay on my couch because
God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that
Yes,
are
sir.
the best in the world?
We
and make the
sharing.
rest of the
We
team
like it.
Look like a gaggle of girls.
We
The
subscribe.
Bears.
I don't go to church, and
God
I know
understand.
God understands. I can stay on my couch because
God is a fan of the Bears.
The Bears. Who are the
Bear down.
guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a...
Well, guys, let's go to the swimming pool. Let's go take a shower. Let's go water skiing.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
There he is.
Be sure to bring a towel so you don't get all wet.
That's right. Be sure to bring your mouthpiece. Are you sure to get all wet? Yes, sir. Yeah, we talking about it. We had this show planned before L Boogie LeBron made his comment today. Trying to get back on the right side, the black side. So we got a lot to unpack today. Justin Time didn't play last week due to injury. So we probably won't spend too much time on the Bears because we want to really unpack the hottest topic today. Jerry Jones. He's been getting away with a lot. He's been getting away with a lot. But welcome to Mouthpiece Included, another edition. In case y'all don't know the format, bear down, bear down, bear down. We're going to start with the Bears. Then, of course, we got how about them Bulls, if there's any Bulls news. I think the Sox picked up a free agent. We may skim that. Then, of course, we have some hot weekly hot topics for you cats. Then, of course, we found a booger. Oh, yeah, the pink man has picked out a booger. This guy might get booger of the year, but he's definitely getting booger of the week. Yes, sir. All raccoons, please enter through the rear. And then, of course, our hottest topic tonight is Jerry Jones, a segregationist. We are live. It's approximately 9:24 in the shot. Let's get our resident Silverback in the building. Jackie Robinson's finest manager and coach.
TAT,
Ace.
TAT, and Mouthpiece included. What up,
Yeah.
dog?
What it do, fool? Bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down.
Down. We got a lot of bears down this week, but we'll talk about that. What's going on with you?
What's been shaking at the Heezy since the last show? You got any banter? While I continue to share this link, then we're gonna jump this off because I want to get to this hot topic and truly unpack this today. So handle your business.
Hey, just like, share, subscribe, Mouthpiece included. Pull up, bring your mouthpiece. Don't be afraid. Kind Mouthpiece included. It's been slipping into the winter months here. It's cold here, man. Just a little bit of snow. Everything's good. It's at the holiday weekend, family day weekend. So love your family. Even those cousins that don't come around for whatever reason, those family members that are feeling some kind of way about something that happened 20 years ago that everybody forgot about, following check with them. They were wrong. Time in those bridges. Don't got so much time here. Checking out really basic. For reasons health-wise and for more reasons, violent-wise. Love your family, man.
Hey, wiggle your mic or something. I don't know if I'm getting you as clear as I could.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So yeah, just love your family, man. That's my main thing for today. It's been a heck of a week as far as people checking out. Not for my family in particular, but just going up and down my timeline on the book and just talking to people. I did lose one of my lodge fraternal brothers, but he had been having health problems. Rest in peace to past Grandmaster Donald Appleton. And hey, just love with each other, man. Spend as much time as with the people you love and respect as you can. Hate to start on a preaching type of note, but that's what I had to say this week. Now we can get into those politics and your guy, Jerry.
Yeah, man. Hey, sorry for your loss. I thought you was about to say Grandmaster Flash out there.
No, that would hit your your phone or your somewhere in your metaverse. If Grandmaster Flash had checked out, it would have been an icon of the hip hop era, So it was just a Grandmaster of my lodge passed away due to medical complications. So, condolences and shout outs to his family and all the members of Most Worshipful New Jerusalem Grand Lodge.
New Jerusalem, baby. New Jerusalem. Yeah, man. Makes you wonder with Grandmaster Flash, if he's in a lodge. But let's go ahead and get this unpacked. So how about them Sox? They lost. They had already decided not to re-sign Abreu, but he got picked up by Houston. Houston, huh? Houston, we have a problem.
That's not a bad fall for the guy. You leave the south side of Chicago and you end up on the World Series championship team with Dusty as the manager, maybe going on his farewell tour this season. So, they'll be motivated to win again, I guess. Especially bringing in a former MVP and just sticking them in your roster. I mean, how could that hurt?
Right. Veteran, seasoned veteran, good leader, great locker room guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good move for him, and he does get to play with the melanated and, end his career playing for something.
Yeah.
Not that the Sox are in a full rebuild, but one thing I was saying, they picked up some dude I never heard of. It seems like the Cubs and Sox, man, if they rebuilding, they sure aren't trying hard. Well, I don't think the Sox are in a rebuild, but the Cubs ain't trying hard.
Yeah, I think it's still a payroll thing over there on the north side of Chicago.
Oh, you mean the misers of the Midway?
Yeah. The Ricketts. The Ricketts been having a bad few years, I guess, in the stock market, so they're not looking to spend any money to improve the squad. I don't know what's going on. And his White Sox move is similar to maybe a Bears move of their current rebuild, hiring a one-year pitcher, getting him $12 million, I guess, to see if he can make it through the season. I don't really know what's up with this move, but yeah, he's an arm, so he can eat some innings up, I guess.
Speaking of pitchers, rest in peace. Was it Oil Can Boyd? One of the old school pitchers died, man.
Really? I know I heard Gaylord Perry died.
Yeah, that's who it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gaylord Perry. Yeah, they said he's in the 300 strike, 300K, 3,000K, 300 win
club. Yeah, that's a small fraternity for baseball. It's damn near impossible now with the setup pitchers, the middle relief, the damn closer, and the short man, and for a pitcher to get 300 wins, it's kind of tough. You're relying a lot on some other guys to get you to the finish line. So,
was Gaylord some sort of color?
No.
He's a pink man out there.
Yeah, he was pink. He was non-melanated. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a set of the Gaylots. And that's a Vice Lord set. I don't know. Can we say Vice Lord on Mouthpiece included? I don't know.
You say Gaylord on.
All right, well, RIP and condolences to Gaylord's family, but let's push past that. Didn't want to spend much time on that because, I really want to get into the topic. The hottest topic is Jerry Jones a segregationist? What's in his heart? But you got any Bulls chatter?
Oh, the Bulls. No. There have been murmurings around the black web that Ball might be close to being able to walk onto a court soon. Play about 3 or 4 games, I guess, before he has to go on bed rest.
Yeah.
So they're looking at it. I guess it's time for them to we're heading into a new year to get the he's coming back train going. And then, put him out there in a practice or two, show him shooting some hoops in his backyard or his dad's yard in California somewhere, and then he'll be back in March.
You know what I do for these guys, man? I'm toxic masculine, they'd probably say. But if I was a team owner and I had one of these bed rest guys, I'd have a cot right down there at the end of the bench, and get some cheerleaders to fan these. You're on bed rest, be on bed rest. You know what I mean?
I mean, once Larry Bird broke his back putting the driveway in for Mom, he used to lay on the floor trying to stay in the games and play some ball. But I don't know. That'd be more comfortable. Bed, a cot on the end, or maybe just a tent.
Yeah, why not? They got
it in football. They bring the blue tent out every time somebody sprains an ankle.
I think they're smoking dope in that tent. But we got the Bulls at 9-12, bro. So right now they're currently 12th seed in the East. The play-in game, there would be a game and a half out and 8.5 games behind the Celtics. So you're talking about a potential Ball return.
Yeah.
I'm just not excited. We did the show, should they blow it up? I think I'm still with blow it up. If Ball is healthy enough to walk on that court, we're going to put you on bed rest until we can trade you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get him playing a few games and bed rest him and playing a few games and get him right out of here, right at the trade deadline. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell Zach LeBedrest that you're next, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that $200 million is just an albatross. They got to eat it. They got to eat it until they don't have to. Whatever.
I think this season they got to eat it. They might be able to dump them off after that.
Yeah. So maybe the trade deadline next year, because if they don't make the playoffs this year, he's definitely going to be, butt sore and complaining and doing all kind of crap like he's a star player in the NBA.
Facts. All right. Well, go Bulls. Tonight's hottest topic we're covering is Jerry Jones, a segregationist. What's in his heart? A picture surfaced that I'm sure many of you guys have seen with him standing there trying to keep the coloreds, the melanated, from crossing the proverbial picket line and get themselves a proper education.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. How about them Bears, man? So, Fields' shoulder injury. Should he play versus the Chiefs?
Absolutely. Damn it, he's a football player. If he can go, put him out there.
Well, I was thinking, he's a rookie. I mean, he's a second-year player. It's not like he's a newborn baby.
Yeah. So put him out there. If he can go, he can go. If he can't, he can't. Put the second-string all-star out there, and let's see what we can do this week. He's had a whole full week of practice and reps, so we don't get much information on the player injuries anymore. Everybody's trying to hide the health status of the players, so you have to prepare for the 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks. They might be in the meeting room preparing right now for Peterman to show up on the field if if both those guys can't play. So I would play him if he's
Peterman
enough to play.
Wasn't Peterman on a sitcom? What sitcom was that? I think it was Seinfeld or something.
Seinfeld, yeah. He plays for the Bears now.
Be talking about his jackets and coats and shit.
Oh yeah, he had the slick back hair and the he was courting what's her name? Julia Louis-Dreyfus. What was her name on the show? Whatever.
Diane, I think. Was that Yeah. Well. So you're saying if Fields could take the shot and drink the mix, you'd play him and let him play through the pain. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Smug Rodgers is playing, and he's on a rib and a broken thumb. So yeah, right.
Yeah, and his dog died, and he had.
But I'm saying, if you're gonna be Iron Man, you got to play.
Well, he's a football player. I mean, to get to where he's trying to get to, he's going to have to play through injuries and pain, much longer than he has this year. He's going to have to play to get to the promised land. So you got hurt on a play at the end of the game. If it's just hurt, then you got to evaluate the pain you're going through to play. If you're injured, really injured, I would sit him out. Bring those other guys out there. But he's got to learn to deal with the pain. And we know he's a tough guy. We know he's a guy that can deal with it. So then you also have the question of what record are we going for at this point? Because
well, personally, I'm gonna push back a little.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm sitting him this week. He'll get the bye, and then essentially he'll be having 4 weeks of bed rest, a full month once he comes back for that next game, and then just let him close out the season. That's what I would do. But then on the flip side of that, what's our quarterback name? Trevor Seaman? Can you say Seaman on YouTube?
You can. Yeah, you can. I mean, it's a
scientific term.
Yeah, it's part of the body.
But isn't that his name, Trevor Seaman?
No,
Because I think we had Ty come on this show. I should have pulled up the footage and said that, he liked the way Trevor was hitting the corner end zone passes in the preseason.
Yeah, he made it happen. In
the he didn't even say trade Fields. I had to ask him, so what would you do with Fields? He'd be my backup.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Make him hold the clipboard so you can get Trevor Seaman out there. It's Simeon. Yeah, Simeon. So
Simeon, yeah. Simeon. Yes.
Just like the character in the Planet of the Apes.
Well, he looked good on the first 15 plays, the scripted plays, but I think they couldn't script as many. I don't know. Well, they knew Justin wasn't playing. They just wasn't telling us. But
yeah.
What are your thoughts? Might be good that he didn't have a great game, because then all the naysayers would have come out of the woodworks talking about
I should be starting. There's no way.
He's processing.
Yeah. Sure, he can go through all the reads.
He's smart.
He's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough. He's so tough. He hurt himself in the pregame warmups, huh?
Yeah, he hurt his oblique muscle. That's the same thing that Smug Rogers hurt during the game.
Smug.
Yeah.
So, but they're saying that it's possible that he might not play. You mean tell me they can't shoot up that oblique muscle and have him go?
That guy's making $250 million. There's no damn way he's going to play.
No. Not Smug. Simeon. Trevor.
Yeah, he'll be out there. He's been in the pool all week.
Yeah.
Getting his herbal treatments.
The way they was talking, man, like you said, we might have Peterman out there.
Who cares? We're going for the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah, right now I think they said we're at 2.
Yeah, we get the number one pick. We can trade that for probably the number one this year, later on, and number one next year. Somebody that's desperate.
Well, somebody that needs a quarterback, but they're saying, we could probably trade it to Detroit. I would not trade that pick to anyone in my division.
Absolutely not.
So they can draft a quarterback that can come back and bite us in the bum 2 times per year for the next 15 years, potentially.
That's blasphemy. There's plenty of teams that need quarterbacks that are
correct
in the division. I don't even see many teams in our division need a quarterback. I don't think Minnesota's going to get rid of Cousins. They got Smug Rogers and the Love Kid and Cheese Country, and the Lions. Lions golf.
Yeah, the Lions are going to move on from golf if they can get one of these hot quarterbacks that Diesel comes on the show and says we should move on from Fields and pick up one of these hot college quarterbacks.
No. I mean, you can't use a number one pick to get a quarterback to start over in Detroit. I don't think you can. You got so many holes you need to fill. There's no way I would use that pick on a quarterback. And you got an experienced quarterback. He's not great, but he's experienced. So you're starting all the way over, and you're signifying a rebuild if you pick up a quarterback next year in the first round.
Yeah, well, they got some good young talent over there. I think they won 5 or 6 games and pick 6 golf. I'm not, building my program around him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit did take a QB in the draft. I don't think golf was their permanent answer, but who knows? Who knows? Because he's a young guy. Golf ain't old.
I don't know what pick they have for that they got when they traded for golf. I got to break down that deal where they sent Stafford over to LA.
Trashford.
Yeah, they got a number one pick and golf. I think they're sitting pretty. I got to look that up because the Rams are trash. They're gonna yield a pretty good pick this year. So I got to see what the Lions negotiated.
Yeah, but so I definitely wouldn't make a move with anybody in the division unless they're giving me 3 number 1 picks or something like that. Then it'd be hard to look away from it. But now the Jets, That shellacking. You taking what do you take away from that shellacking?
Well, we had a myriad of injuries, a bunch of defensive players hurt or traded away before all the damn injuries in the game. You had Brisker and Gordon out on concussion protocol, and you lost Jackson in the game. You lost. I mean, come on, man. It was, and I'm looking at the national press and the national media there, applauding this guy that they brought up from bagging groceries to start the game for the Jets, and how well he did. But they were going to score some points against the Bears anyway, based on the fact that we don't have any defense, and now you lose all those players during the game and prior to the game. I mean, they're making this guy the second coming of Joe Namath after the game. So I don't understand. I wouldn't take much from it. Just like the rest of these games that they're going to play this year. The team is constructed to get a great draft pick, which they will. Hopefully, the brain trust doesn't get Justin Fields hurt anymore, and we can build some more. See what we got as far as developmental players on the team now.
I hear that. So you mentioned the injuries. Mooney, he's done for the season. Eddie Jackson's done for the season. You know how I feel. Your best ability is your availability.
Yeah.
Mooney, I'm okay with him. Eddie Jackson, love him. Soon as he's better, he's getting. I gotta trade him. Non-contact injuries scare the shit out of me.
Well, I mean, I think this is the offseason they can cut him.
Yeah, no, I'd trade him if I could. Somebody will take him.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a early third or second round pick for Nick Foles at 40, you should be able to get third, fourth round pick for Eddie Jackson.
We'll have 3 number ones next year after we trade Eddie Jackson and trade down in the first round. So we'll have 3 number 1 picks.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna get a 1 for Eddie Jackson because everybody knows that you probably cut him anyway if you're moving him. But I think you can easily get a 3, third round, maybe a 4th round.
He's under contract. They look at the extent of the injuries. Of course, they're looking to get younger, faster, and they didn't draft him, so they want to get that contract off the books. But it's just a matter of what kind of team they can get to make the deal.
All right. Well, Ace and I, we both predicted, unfortunately, that the Bears are going to lose if Trevor Siemian started, and so we were both correct. That pushes my Bears prediction record. We probably should have been going against the spread this year. We'd have a better record.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm 5-7, and Ace is at 4-8. It's going to be nip and tuck here as we close out the season. So with that being said, we got Pack we're at home, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's our home game.
So the Pack is coming to the Midway, to the lakefront. Now, the Bears are 4-point dogs the last time I checked. First question, will we cover the spread?
Depends on the quarterback. If we're going with
yeah, we got to do that again. I guess we got to. So if the injured Justin Fields, almost had some corn here. If the injured Justin Fields is in, of course he'll be playing, under duress.
Yeah.
He won't be 100%. But if he's in, so let me put with Fields. What's your prediction, Pack at Bears score?
With Fields, I'm going with Fields, I'll go 31-30.
Who?
No, we got to do both quarterbacks, though.
Smug is playing. We're going to assume Smug is playing.
So we're assuming Smug is playing?
Yeah.
Going 31-30. If Justin Fields is playing.
Who got the 30?
Bears beat the Pack.
Bears 31, Pack 30.
Yeah.
So with Peterson or Seaman, who are you going with?
Bears 17, Pack 24.
Okay.
I hit the Bears score on the head last week. I just didn't think they were just going to get butt raped defensively like they did by the backup. Can I say that? The backup quarterback of the of the New York Jets. But yeah, it is what it is.
All right. So with Simeon, Ace said, give me that score again. My bad.
24-17. No, 24-13. My bad.
Bears 13, Pack 24. All right. So I'll give you my predictions. With the injured Justin Fields, it is a home game. He's been out. Packers. I'm going to go Bears 21, Pack. That's Whitfield. Whew, this is tough.
Yeah, I think we got the worst defense in the NFL right now.
That's the problem. Yeah, I can't. This is awful to even have to do this season. All right, let me just pick it like my rent was. Yeah, like my paycheck was on it, riding on it. Fields is playing. We're at home. He's ginger.
You got the water boy running around wide open out there for the Packers.
Quarterback's ginger. All right, I'll say Bears 21, Pack 20 with Fields. All right, with Simeon.
Simeon.
I'm gonna go Pack. Same score, 24. Bears. They'll muster up 17. So I got 24-17 Pack with Simeon. Those are our predictions, you guys.
All right, it's a rivalry game. Let's go Bears.
Yeah, anything can happen in a rivalry game.
Absolutely. They can go right in and
pick up Aaron Rodgers and lift him up over their head completely and slam them in the ground.
Body slam and just get suspended for the rest of the season and have dinners and bar tabs picked up for the rest of their lives in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, we still need that revenge from that awful play when the Pack wasn't playing for nothing and we was, you know what I mean? They did that to Jimbo McMahon and we was playing for Super Bowl. That was bogus, man.
Leroy Martin, yeah, it was a different era in the NFL. Yeah, and they still didn't like Hallis or the Bears.
Oh, in today's NFL, he'd probably be banned, and they'd be talking about the white supremacists be talking about filing charges against him. Oh, yeah. Criminal charges.
Absolutely.
Yeah, be all over the news.
Look at that thug out there on the field.
Thug. All right. So tonight it's all about, is Jerry Jones a segregationist? Anything else you wanted to comment on the Bears before we move forward?
Well, we got a tough stretch coming up. You got the bye following the Packer week.
Mm-hmm.
You got some games.
The Eagles after that, I think.
Oh my gosh! You got the Eagles. You got Buffalo. You got Minnesota, and I forget the other tough game they got. So hey, it might look like they're trying to tank, but I don't think they're gonna have a choice. But the Bears will play hard. The Bears always play hard. It's a matter of attrition as far as the players are concerned. They keep saying the next man up. But, we got Taco Charlton out there. It was a former number 1 pick. And I don't think this guy he can pass rush me at this point.
Taco?
Taco. Yeah, I don't know come on, man. You was a number 1 pick. I mean, what's going on in your life? You can't get past some of these bums out here on the field. So, yeah. I mean, nothing personal just against Taco, but, the defensive line, except for, Justin Jones and maybe Pennell, there's absolutely no pressure on the quarterback. And if you're going against Smug Rogers and even Jordan Love looked good at the end of the game last week, it's going to be a tough week. But go Bears.
Yeah, bear down. And all this talk about, there's a lot of pundits saying they would sit Fields for the rest of the season. We know what we got. No. He needs as many reps as possible. All those guys. Goes back to what we were saying about Smug Rogers and Privileged Brady missing the preseason. Guys need those reps. And if it ain't just for them, it's for the receivers, it's for the line, it's for everybody, man. You need to be there, bro. You coach. Yeah. You can't have your star player not around, not at practice, not playing games.
I mean, unless, he's Lawrence Taylor or something, or, out there trying to get the booger sugar.
The nose Twinkies, allegedly. Right.
Yeah, I know what I got when he shows up, but the rest of you guys need to be out here practicing.
Say, unless you got Quentin Daly or something showing up, I'm going to put up 30. You ain't seen me, and I came out of the closet hiding from you guys and put up 37.
Yeah. No, yeah. So, they need all of these plays on film. They got to see what Justin can do with Claypool, who's definitely going to be playing next year.
Yeah.
You got to see if you're going to keep Harry, which you want to because of his size. You got to start working on some plays with him. Mooney's gone, and you got to see, what you're going to get out of Pringle. So if you got Pringle and Harry as your maybe 5 and 6, and you can get a couple speed guys in here. You got Mooney at 2 and Claypool at 1. You might have some competition at camp next year instead of everybody being damn hurt. But, we'll see. But he definitely needs to be playing.
Pringle caught a nice pass, man.
Made a hell of a catch.
Yeah.
But, he's on a 1-year contract, so it doesn't matter what the Bears are going to do.
He's one of those guys, all he does is catch touchdowns.
Yeah. So they got to get these big, strong guys, these blocking receivers into some plays they can figure out where Justin isn't just taking off half the damn game trying to get killed. So hopefully with some development in the offensive line as far as a couple vets and getting these guys on film, seeing what they can scheme for their form in their playbook. And, maybe the offense will come around next year even more.
Yeah, bro. And speaking of next year and the line, we're going to cover that next week. So be prepared. We'll do our mock draft, so to speak. Both scenarios. Maybe, we'll do if we keep the pick, and then we'll do if we trade the pick. We're only going to do like the first 3 rounds or so.
All
right. So tonight is all about, is Jerry Jones a segregationist? I mean, we don't know what's in his heart. I mean, that was 65 years ago, for God's sakes. Yeah. But all right, quarter black of the week. I wanted to pick Justin Fields again. He looked good over there, standing over there with that hoodie on, holding the clipboard, running the plays in and everything. I almost picked him. But I had to go with Jalen Hurts, man. He looked like he was competing against Justin Fields, man. Like,
oh my gosh, it was wow. I mean, yeah. I don't know how the game got. Well, it kind of got close, but he was unstoppable.
Man, he went ape poo.
I don't know if he was watching the Justin Fields highlights before the game, and hopefully, Chicago Bears, you incorporate some of the plays that the Eagles were running the almost undefeated Eagles were running against the damn pack to run their ass out of the stadium this week if Justin Fields happens to play. If Trevor Seaman plays, yeah, good luck.
So are we in agreement then? That's your quarterback of the week?
Man.
Lamar played good too, but he had a tweet, which we're going to cover.
That tour.
Hey, they undefeated with him at the helm, bro.
I mean,
it's weird. I would love to see this season Tua against the Eagles.
Yeah.
The whole Alabama thing, like, man, like they just because I know they can't like each other. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, it wasn't Jalen's fault.
Yeah, it wasn't Tua's fault, but
it wasn't Tua. Yeah, Tua wasn't Jalen's fault.
But Jalen still wants to prove something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it's tough to prove because, like you just said, they both balling, bro. It's like that was a hell of a position, but I always thought that the football guys didn't like it, and that's why Bama's been struggling.
Yeah.
Because that's just next man up, man. You shouldn't lose your position when you're playing well, due to injury.
Yeah.
Tua did his job in that national championship game, came in as the backup. They won it. I'd have came back that next year with Hurts. And then Hurts, you go ahead off to pro. I would have told Hurts, this is your only season. We can't keep this kid here like that. Told Tua, don't go in the transfer portal. This is yours after the season.
Yeah, we got all this worked out.
Yeah, I think your boy missed the ball on that, Nick Saban, because that was bad. Because what's the Eagles quarterback name?
Jalen Hurts.
He's a winner, bro. I mean, he literally won 3 or 4 state championships in whatever state he was in. I mean, it was in Georgia or Texas. It wasn't an easy state to win 3 state chips. Went to college, did the same thing, and then look at his team now.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I mean, I was clamoring for him to be our pick instead of the damn co-commission guy.
Me too. Yeah. But it all works out because, I'd be happy with either one, but I'm damn happy with just incredible.
Yeah. I mean, even though we had to give up some draft status to get Justin.
We'd be so much further ahead had we just got to, or had we gotten Handy J instead of wasting all that draft capital, because then it was a domino effect. We wasted more. If we'd have just got Handy J, who's going to be playing this week.
Or Sideshow Bob.
Right. Either one of them. And we'd be sitting pretty right now. Definitely Sideshow Ball. I don't think Handy J would have been in the same situation had he been in Chicago, but
could have found him some professional.
Correct. Now to keep the mouth shut and not just be gold diggers all the time. Take this, cash right here and get out of here. All right, but
I know you're feeling a certain kind of way. It'll be somebody call you later on tonight.
Yeah, they're gonna call you later. The Uber's on its way. All right. So we did quarterback of the week. All right, we need your top 5. We're gonna do our power rankings, Ace. Top 5 NFL ball clubs. This is our NFL power rankings after this past week.
I go to 5, huh? 5?
Yeah, 5. But just while you're doing that, Jalen has 17 rushes for 157 yards. Yeah. He was 16 for 28, 153 yards passing, 2 TDs, no picks. So, yeah.
That's Fields-esque.
Correct. Yeah. So my number 5 team is how about them Cowboys with the racist? We don't know what's in his heart. Yeah. With the Jerry Jones as the team owner, they're 8-3. I'm going with the boys. Who you got at number 5, bro?
It's not the boys. Number 5, I'm going to put the Vikings of Minnesota. Number 5 for me. The boys.
Yeah, Yeah, they're not on my list, but they were close because I think they're like 9-2 or something like that.
Yeah. They're NFC North team. I don't give a damn how many Shamrocks they got shoved up there Heine to win some of these games. They're my number 5 pick for this week.
All right. My number 4 team is the Buffalo Bills. They're playing tonight. Did they win? What's going on there? But they were 8-3.
It was a tight game. So last I looked, while I was at basketball practice, they were down in New England, but I haven't got an update on the score as of yet.
I'll check it out. But who's your team?
But we agree. We got the Buffalo Bills as the number 4 pick this week. Nobody circles the Bills. The wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. But they got quarterback problems. Everybody likes Allen, but he throws a lot of damn picks in the end zone. So, you got to get that cleaned up before the playoffs.
Playoffs. Well, right now they're up 24-7 in the fourth quarter with 1 minute 57 seconds. Allen's 22 for 33, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 5 rushes for 23. So you got the Pats out there losing at home. Belichick hates losing at home.
He's gonna
retire.
He's gonna retire.
He'll never retire. All right, who's your number 3? Who you got at the number 3 slot on your power ranking?
I got Buffalo, Minnesota. I'm going with the Dolphins of Tui Taronunga.
All right, we're in agreement once again. I got the 8-3 Dolphins in the number 3 slot. My number 2 team is the Eagles at 10-1. Who you got in there, number 2?
It was tough after the performances this weekend, but yeah, I got the Philadelphia Eagles, EAGLES, at number 2. And
all right, so it sounds like we're in agreement at 9-2. Sideshow Bob and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to go against those guys. He is my fantasy number 1 quarterback, and yeah, Chiefs with Sideshow Bob as my number 1 pick for the power rankings as of this week. I mean, yeah, it's tough because that Kelsey guy makes him look good every week. I mean, he can sprinkle the ball around to other wide receivers, whoever shows up that week and wants to play. But he's got that consistent tight end that he can hit over the middle, in the end zone, down the sideline, wherever the hell he wants to. And,
I agree, but I still feel like just like he lost his number 1 receiver, if Kelsey goes down too, it's going to be next man up, and your boy Sideshow Bob's still going to be throwing for 350, 400 a game.
Yeah,
could be the system. I don't know.
No, it's
not taking nothing away from Kelsey. He's a Hall of Famer.
They'll plug in another tight end, but that guy, yeah. That's I think what the Bears were trying to look for out of Cole Kmet when they drafted him instead of Jalen Hurts, and then they didn't have a quarterback. But and there's another Notre Dame guy coming out of there this year who's supposed to be the next Travis Kelce. So
yeah, everybody's looking for the next Travis Kelce.
Yeah. But
I like Kmet though. I like his progress he's been showing. I ate crow on him a couple weeks ago, so yeah. I think he can definitely be an unhoused version of Cole Kmet. Poor man's Kmet.
Yeah, I think I'm still biased because of the Hurts pick, but I still got to go back, like you said before that, to the terrible job they did when they picked the guy driving the Camry over Handy J and
gave up the ranch to move up 1 damn slot with a team that already had their guy.
Yeah,
I mean, for a bum,
Yeah.
That was malpractice. Should have been fired then.
Should have been fired. I mean, how many times does a team get to pick a franchise quarterback with the same damn general manager? It doesn't happen twice normally. If you miss a guy, you're out of here. You're gone.
And if San Fran would have drafted, what's his name?
Mitchell-Palooza.
Bitch Trubisky. If they would have drafted him, then you could have offered them a second or third round pick for their quarterback that they had, the guy that's starting now.
Garoppolo, yeah.
Yeah, and wouldn't have had to give up the ranch. You could have given them, hey, next year's first round pick. You know what I don't want to talk about it. All right. Let's move forward. Tonight is all about Jerry Jones. Is he a segregationist? What's in his heart? All right, so let's go to before we get to Lamar Jackson's tweet, I want to do the NBA top 5 power rankings. All right, the NBA.
National Basketball Association.
National Blacks Association.
Okay.
So at 5, I got Cleveland Cavs at 13-8. That was their record as of yesterday.
Okay. At 5, I have.
And I picked Cleveland in my top 5 at the beginning of the season. So they're still holding up. I'm biased.
5, I got the Golden State Warriors.
They're like 11-13.
Who cares?
All right. Golden State is on my list, but not on this list. All right. 4, I got the Nuggets. That team should be like in Las Vegas with a name like Nuggets. But I got the Denver Nuggets 13-7.
4, I got the Utah Jazz.
The Utes.
Yeah.
All right.
We touched on the marketing kid after when we're talking about the Bulls, but yeah. I got the Utes.
Yeah, the big kid from Finland.
Yeah.
All right.
All it takes is go in there and give him a forearm to the neck, and his season will be over.
Yeah, glass jaw.
Yeah.
All right. At 3, I got the Suns at 14-6. Denver was on my top 5 at the beginning of the year. I can't remember if I had the Suns. I don't think I did, but they're 14-6.
Yeah, at 3, I also have the Suns of Phoenix as my number 3 pick.
Yeah, your boy put up 50 last night in less than 3 quarters against the Bulls.
Yeah, they weren't ready. They were thinking about the ball.
Bed rest. All right. So for my number 2 team, I'm going with Giannis Antetokounmpo for the Bucks at 14-5.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much change from last week. A couple of teams are flip-flop in and out of the top 5. But yeah, I got Milwaukee at number 2 on my list as well.
All right.
Yes.
And then finally, I guess we agree, number 1. Who you got?
Got the Celtics of Boston. I hate to say it, but yeah. Got the Celtics of Boston. They got to play themselves out of that number 1 position.
17-4. Your boy was balling too.
Yeah, I don't think they have. So, yeah.
What's his name? The high yellow guy plays the 3.
Jason Tatum.
Oh man, he was balling.
Yeah, that kid can play.
I liked him coming out. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, I mean, I know a lot of people did, but I'm like, man, I said it then. They should probably remember that kid reminded me of Grant Hill because I'm a Dookie.
Yeah.
That kid reminded me of Grant Hill, bro. Underappreciated somewhat.
Right. And he was young coming out, but now there's no touch league. He's virtually unstoppable. All you have to do is keep developing his strength and a different shot every year. He's I mean, he's 6'8". There's nothing anybody can do with it, unless he goes up against Giannis. But he still has the skill set to compete against.
And you could tell he's working on his game.
Yeah.
In the offseason.
Yeah.
You know, like Giannis adding to his game. All right, let's jump on now. Lamar Action Jackson.
Okay.
We all know he's up for a contract, just like when Handy J was up for some big money and they found all kind of reasons to underpay him. Yeah. Or they tried. So now there's a guy on Twitter, probably works for the organization, with 130 followers at the time.
All right.
And he tweeted after their loss, when someone is asking for over 250 million, once again, pocket watching all of the black players. But when someone is asking for over 250 million guaranteed like LJ, games like this should not come down to, he's basically saying the kicker. Let Lamar walk and spend that money on a well-rounded team. And the guy who tweeted that is some guy, looks pink, at least that's what his profile pic is, Castle Will Kill. I mean, it's a troll name.
Yeah.
But so 130 followers or something at the time. Now, Lamar Jackson, who's representing himself, he's an agent, said, boy, STFU, y'all be capping too much on this app. MF, you know, mother F's, never smelt. He didn't say smelled, smelt.
Melted.
Never smelt a football. Never did poop, but eat penis. Yeah, that was his response. It was right after the loss.
Yeah.
And of course, Stephen A. Coon and H. Smith and all of the pundits have been going in on him. And they're suggesting that maybe he's lost, him costing himself money, this, that, and the other. And but what's your take? What's your take on this? What would you say to Lamar? What's your take, and what advice do you have for Lamar Jackson? He's got to be under some pressure here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're mentally under some pressure. You're playing for a contract. You're in a contract year, so you know you're basically guaranteed the.
Think we lost him. Well, I'll go ahead and give my take on this. I think we lost this fella. All right, I'll give my take. Lamar Jackson, you know, I'm not mad at you. Me personally, I'm a lot older than you. You came up in this social media age. I wouldn't pay attention to any of that. I'd have bots handling all of my responses. I mean, I'd like to see you ignore that, but I've laced them up. I know it can be emotional after games, but I know where you were coming from. You know, you get frustrated with people who never even don't even do what you do. You know, like people don't become armchair brain surgeons or armchair heart surgeons, you know, pocket watching some of our best physicians or, you know, professionals, and you want them to honor your craft. But as far as this affecting what the Ravens should be willing to pay him, I think that would be nothing more than the Ravens using that as an excuse to not do what they haven't done in the first place. So I feel like they're going to use that as an excuse to justify laying the franchise tag on this man. Furthermore, the fact that he's representing himself, I think the NFL owners may be in collusion with players such as Roquan Raekwon the chef, Roquan Smith, players who are representing themselves and not having an agent. I think they may be colluding against them and not respecting them the same and honoring them with the contract that they would have gotten if they had to pay X percentage to an agent, someone that's part of the old boy system, go to Augusta National with them, play some golf, and get those deals done. Now, you got a lot of backlash, though, because your tweet came off as homophobic. And I don't know, being from where we're from, Lamar, I think it was just a turn of phrase, right? Let me go back and look at this. Never smelt a football field, never did crap, but eat D. I don't find the homophobia in that statement. So you guys comment, if you can kind of tell me where the homophobia comes in. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, I guess I can see how maybe, but I think that's a reach. And again, I think that this was these guys looking for an excuse to franchise tag you anyway. But at this point, if I'm you, Lamar, if they franchise you, you should go ahead and move on. I would move on after the franchise expires and go play for the highest bidder. Yep. You don't owe Baltimore anything. All right. So tonight's hottest topic is Jerry Jones a segregationist? Is Jerry Jones segregationist? What's in his heart? Oh boy. Let's move on. Booger of the week. Yeah. We've got our booger of the week. One second. Stand by, you guys. We got the co-host coming back. Must be some technical difficulties going on here. Yeah, we stay running, man. I don't know. I think you lost your internet connection or something.
Yeah, it was something with the computer. Shout out to my crack production staff for getting us back in the flow of things.
Well, yeah, we were jumping to Booger of the Week, but I gave my take on the Lamar Jackson. There was things about, homophobic in the statement. I felt like I didn't see the homophobia. That's kind of like a turn of phrase. Maybe our community is homophobic. That's what they try to put on us. But eat a D. I mean, come on. But go ahead, bro. What's your take on this tweet?
Yeah, I think it's just the frustration of being in a contract year and not having the, basically the vote of confidence from the team, which they might just be in a business position of, we're going to keep this guy or we're going to franchise him or we're going to dangle him for another team as far as trade bait. I don't know what they're doing, but, I know they're not going to let him lead the team. They probably get rid of the coach before they would get rid of Lamar Jackson. They got 2 years of franchise tags to use on him, which, of course, the players never liked. But, I think it's just frustration. And it came out unfortunately, right after a game, when players are at the height of their emotions, and it is what it is. I don't think there was any homophobia involved. There was any type of bashing of any groups that was involved in his tweet. But he was just frustrated. They caught him right after a game, and at the height of emotions, where there's a possibility that any of us can say anything. So,
Yeah,
get Lamar mulligan.
What do you think about my assertion that the league owners may be colluding against players like Roquan, the chef, who are representing themselves? It seems like they're all having a hard time inking their deal.
Well, it would be to the league's benefit. So why wouldn't we think they would be in collusion of not using one of their friends to negotiate a contract? Because you got to be in, especially a contract which to be negotiated at the time would be the highest for their particular position or near the highest for a particular position, that they will want to spread this money around to their friends.
That's what I said, the old boy system.
Yeah.
Go play some golf at Augusta.
Yeah. I'm going to have you get this 10% or 5%, whatever they negotiate, percent of this $200 million I'm going to give my employee. So, so anybody negotiating their own money, not paying one of their buddies to go in office and sign basically a standard contract. I mean, they're all signing the same thing. You get X amount of dollars for X amount of years, and you got X amount of performance, you got X amount of time before you can be traded. It's come on, man. It's like a sales contract.
So shifting gears a little, Deshaun Watson is coming back. He was on most people's accounts, definitely mine. He was at the top of my QB list, if not 1, 2.
No interest.
But if you have this guy, when he comes back, will he ever return to the form of a top 5 QB again? And if so, how many games you think it'll take?
Well, I have to look at the Browns' record, but if they can get to the playoffs, that's a tough team to face. You got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in the backfield. You got a number 1 receiver in Cooper. They got a decent tight end. I mean, they got an offensive squad. They're looking for that special quarterback to put them over the hump. And, I think Handy J can do it. Will it be this year? No, but probably next year.
I'm saying for him to get back into Handy J form, right now the Browns are 4-7. So regardless of their record, how many games you think, or do you think he'll immediately be? What are you expecting from him?
I expect he's been practicing for maybe 3 weeks. I'd say 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He's got to shake the rust off and get back up to NFL speed, which will take him 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's been manning the practice squad, and
doesn't matter.
Well, one thing about him, he wasn't injured, so he's been able to at least throw balls and work out.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get massages, so
might be super strong.
Yeah,
overthrowing a few players.
Right.
He threw that one out of the stadium.
he's got to shake that rust off, and I think he'll be fine. So I'd say 2 weeks, 1 week to get back into
NFL speed, game
speed. Another week to get the wind, and maybe that 3rd week you got to watch out. But unfortunately,
well, did you hear that the women that he settled with, I guess they use some of the money, or somebody is paying for them the luxury box in their stadium, and they're all showing up to the game. Now, I don't understand this. You got paid a settlement.
Yeah.
And so now you're just harassing this guy?
Yeah, I mean, you claiming that you were a victim of some sort.
No charges were filed in any of the cases.
Right, but you received monetary compensation.
Handsome compensation.
Mm-hmm.
You were a victim of this guy who allegedly, physically assaulted you sexually, and you're going to go watch him play?
Yeah, I mean, you would think that the hurt and the pain of the act or whatever that you're claiming would keep you away from this person.
You wouldn't even want to see him again, right?
But to go to a luxury box at his first game back in the NFL makes absolutely zero sense to me. So, yeah.
Any future settlements, that's going to be a clause. No showing up to the luxury box. You can come to the games, but sit in the cheap seats.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who orchestrated it, but it doesn't make sense that, these particular ladies will put themselves in a position to have to endure the crowd as well as see Handy J again for an NFL game. So, it's unbelievable.
One thing, he's going to be playing under an immense amount of pressure when you factor in what we just talked about and the fact that he's the highest paid football player in the history of football, and he's colored.
Yeah, I mean, but I think getting back on the field will start to help eliminate that pressure that he's feeling in his head about what's going on, because they were paid not once for the massage, but they were compensated for what happened allegedly during these massages. And I mean, at that point you would think you want to leave it alone or bury it, but now it's just a vendetta against
clout chasing.
Yeah, for going somewhere else, which I think you would want him out of your town or city.
Right.
Now he's going somewhere else.
You're chasing him to a whole nother state.
Yeah, just because he got another contract. So
well, he's been saying he wants to get back to football discussions, which I get. But like the media keeps saying, he needs to, take accountability and say more. It's like, well, he still got cases pending.
Right.
Civil cases pending.
Right.
I don't know. These people act like they've never had attorneys, or they don't understand what attorneys might be telling them. Like, if I'm him, I'm deflecting all of my questions to the attorney. My attorney told me not to comment on that. His number is such a, you know what I mean? You can contact him and ask him whatever you need to ask him. Yeah. Next question.
Yeah, but he's melanated, so him using the rationale or the truth of this having pending litigation, and you need to talk to my attorney, and I can't speak on that. It's just not good enough for mainstream media. They want to badger him to the point where he sends out a tweet like Lamar, unfortunately. So,
bro, you think they did something to Nick Friedel? He was the one that kept badgering Kyrie. I haven't seen him. So the one dude, skinhead, he's bald. He's been on ESPN forever, but he brought him right out. He was so happy. He flew him in, and we're happy to have you here. It was like right after the next day after the Kyrie interview, and he's talking to Friedel, and I ain't seen that dude since, bro.
Well, maybe he sent the squad out there to talk to him. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe the NBA got to him too. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, that's not good for your job, Ace. Okay, let's just say I'm coming around your lodge and y'all give me access to interview people and I'm just being a dick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we don't want that guy interviewing our players anymore.
Absolutely not. So instead of making him eat crow for the network, they just made him disappear.
I haven't seen him. Have you seen him?
No. Yeah, but I don't look much for those guys. But yeah, they pop up all the time, and you're
Yeah, remember he used to pop up talking about basketball and at the stadiums. I have not seen him, man. But I was just thinking about that as a sidebar. All right, but let's go on to the booger of the week.
All right.
And you guys, and you don't have to go off cam unless you want to, but I just play the sound for these. And this is fair use. Everybody, we found a booger. So our topic is talking about Jerry Jones.
Fair use.
And so we're going to give you this booger's take, and then we'll give you the silverback take. Booger of the week, Stephen A. Smith.
Sign. It might have happened in commercial.
They got this coon showing his book. He's got some book. Yeah. You can show your book, market your book.
I cannot wait to read it.
If you be a booger.
Really open up.
Okay.
So I know I'm going to learn quite a bit about you.
Yeah. Can I make a deal with you? What's the release date? January 17th. I'll make a deal with you. Yes. I'll buy 100 if you personalize mine, and then we'll give them out to people that need to read.
Just put boogers.
Yeah, they got 3 of these boogers out here.
My kids, I'll do it for you. You got a deal. Appreciate it. I'll do it. On wax. My damn right arm's gonna fall off.
A photo that showed a 14-year-old Jones peering over a crowd of white.
So here we go. Jerry Jones was in a picture, as we got here, standing on the front lines of white supremacy.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, that's him. And circled there.
The tennis elbow, right?
And here we go.
A great Christmas gift for people to check out. And a photo that showed a 14-year-old Jones peering over a crowd of white students as 6 Black teenagers walked up the steps of North Little Rock High School in Arkansas as the school was integrated in 1957. Jones said he was there out of curiosity, not animosity. There's more from him.
I've never seen one of them before.
65 years ago, and I had no idea when I walked up there what we were doing.
Had no idea what we were doing.
It just is a reminder to me of how to improve and do things the right way.
Okay. A little context here. The Cowboys are one of 7 teams not to have had a Black head coach and have had 2 Black coordinators since
Here comes
Jones
the
has owned
booger.
the team, but their highest football executive vice president of player personnel, Will McClay, is Black. Jones has complied with the Rooney Rule in which teams have to interview.
I want to hear the booger.
I'm pretty pissed off. And let me say this.
I thought he would be mad at Jerry Jones.
Not for reasons that people would think. I'm very, very fond of Jerry Jones. And I'm not hiding that from anybody. Is his record perfect? No. But I'm pissed off because he doesn't deserve what just happened.
Not my boss.
He doesn't deserve it. Our report said he was 14 years old. Another report said he was 15 years old. At minimum, that's 65 years ago. You're going to bring up a picture of Jerry Jones standing at this protest.
At a clan meeting.
No question. What was happening is not something that anybody as a Black person should be appreciative about. We had 6 students at that particular North Little Rock High School that was trying to desegregate the school.
No one should be okay with it.
Nobody should be okay with that.
Regardless of
We
race.
understand that. We get all of that. We also understand what we as Black people and as Black folks, Black men have to deal with. And by the way, to some degree, we still deal with a lot of things.
He always talks about himself in the plural. I'm starting to think he's a they, them.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing this for years.
Yeah,
racism is alive and well. Bigotry and prejudice is alive and well. We get all of that. What I'm saying is, here's the part that bothers me. You want to get on Jerry Jones and his track record, fine. In 2003 or so, you know what? You should have hired Dennis Green shouldn't have got an interview on the phone It should have been an in-person interview.
But that's
You
still
should
your
have
man.
Followed the letter of the rule of the law as it pertained to the Rooney Rule. He wanted Bill Parcells, universally recognized one of the greatest football coaches we've ever seen. It was clear he wanted Bill Parcells. Nobody else was going to have a chance of getting that job. That's what he wants to do. You want to malign him for that? Fine. You want to point out that he's one of 7 black NFL owners that's never hired an African American as a head coach? Fine. Do all of that. Attack him for that. Go ahead. No problem. I see a plethora of African Americans employed by him. I see black players who played for him who rave about this man and what he's done.
We had a bunch of African Americans on the plantations.
By his hiring record when it comes to head coaches, no problem. Can't go the executive route because we know it's him. You know what I'm saying? He want to be the president, the GM, the owner.
You can go executive route.
And then he's got his children that he leans on as well. So can't go the executive route. But you want to get on him about the head coaches, fine. But you're going to bring up a photo of him when he was 14, 15 years old, 65 or 66 years ago. This is where cancer culture gets into the mix, and you're making an attempt to eradicate him, what he stands for, and all he has done. I will remind you, we've had Senator Robert Byrd, who passed away a few years ago, that was a member of the KKK.
Look how he defends these people.
You know, whose record, who didn't want the segregate, who didn't want desegregation. Right. The George Wallaces of the world, the Bull Connors of the world, and others. Okay, we've seen all of this. We've got elected officials on Capitol Hill that are implementing and legislating policy that affects our lives. But we're going to go to Jerry Jones. And by the way, I don't have a problem with the photo. I don't have a problem. If he was 30, 35, 40 years old, that's different. Right.
He don't have a problem.
15 years old. 14, 15 years old. Right. So now some folks are going to get to look at Jerry Jones, and who's from Arkansas. It's the South. We understand what the South represented. You understand what I'm saying? Remember, when slavery ended with the Emancipation Proclamation, you talk about 1863 or what have you. What did Dr. Martin Luther King talk about? Well, you didn't give black folks nothing.
Proclamation.
You ridded slavery from them, but you gave them no land. But you gave white peasants from Europe land in the West and the Midwest, okay? So we understand from an historical perspective where it all comes from, what the South represented at least once upon a time, and in some people's eyes still to this day. But we're gonna lean on somebody when he was 14, born and raised in the South.
Racist.
And we're gonna pick it up 66 years later to say, you know something? Yeah. You ain't hire a black coach. I think that's pretty low. I really, really do. I think that part is pretty low. If he were an adult, that would be different. But a 14, 15-year-old kid raised in the South who literally is just standing there looking.
Well, he's contradicting himself. Why would it matter if he was an adult or not, based upon the fact that you're saying it was all good because everybody was doing it in the South and everybody was lynching? Basically, he's saying everybody was doing that and that made it all right.
It was okay. It's just what happened. It's just what happened. Now he's in this photo with all there's are there any young ladies in the photo? I gotta go back and look at it again.
Yeah, that's him.
All these young white males. You got Jimmy Dean.
And look at these other photos.
Yeah.
He's grown now, ain't he?
Yeah, he's grown then.
But go ahead.
Misogynist. He's not a racist. And you got the guy. Look at that guy with the cigarette hanging out his mouth at the school.
Butch.
Ready to grab one of these little African-American kids that are just trying to go to school. One of these melanated kids just trying to get in the building. He had no idea what was going on.
He had no idea. This is national news, world news when this was going on. Yeah. This was happening at his school in Arkansas. It was all over the local news. You're telling me his dad, who was known to be
racist.
Yes. And his granddad was even worse than him.
Yeah.
None of them mentioned it. You're saying that you see these 2 black students showing up to your school, and other black schools ever went there, and you're just curious.
Yeah. Now, you also got to look at the other side of that picture. Let's say there's a picture behind Jerry Jones and his schoolmates standing in front of maybe 15, 20, 30 photographers taking pictures. What do you think they're taking pictures of?
Right.
when these little black kids are trying to get in the damn school? Are you that ignorant that you don't know what's going on?
Well, let's focus on the booger, and then we're going to jump into unpacking that photo.
Okay.
So
sorry.
The booger's comments are alarming.
He's an idiot.
So he didn't bother to mention that Jerry Jones was dead set against Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
And the whole protest.
Yeah.
Kneeling.
He was probably in the center of the collusion.
So he's never hired a black coach or GM, nobody in upper management who could think.
Never will.
Who could process information. No, he never will. He may now because he's getting this pressure, and it's going to be a Stephen A type. It's going to be a booger. You probably hire Booger McFarland.
Booger McFarland be his PR director.
Yeah. But the fact that he's so upset, and I'm talking about Stephen A. He's a black man, supposedly, but he's upset. He's not upset by the picture at all. No. He's absolving this kid. This grown man.
That's exactly what he said.
And he destroyed Kyrie.
Right. Destroyed him. And he's questioning the date of the picture. I mean, he was either 14 or 15 years old. They told you what year they took the damn picture.
They sure did.
What is this crap?
That is some crap.
I mean, yeah, you're right. We're getting to the end of the year, and I think he's bona fide booger of the year with this crap he's spewing after he just completely vilified Kyrie Irving over a tweet.
And I mean, Ace, a retweet. Yeah. Ace, if you're Stephen A's name, age, because he's talking about age. If Stephen A was fresh out of college, I still wouldn't forgive it. But if he was fresh out of college, trying to make his way and earn some, this guy's been getting over $10 million a year for quite some time that he brags about.
Yeah.
He's got money. He's mature enough to have seen enough and heard enough.
Right.
Now, your boy Jay Williams, Jay Will went in on Jerry Jones.
Yeah. And not to the point of excusing the picture, just as a modern owner of an NFL franchise, when will you denounce?
Correct.
Racism?
Correct. Yeah, we're on the topic now. Correct, Ace. Correct. That's how they asked Kyrie, well, can you denounce it? He said, I don't hate anybody. They didn't even ask this man nothing.
No, because he controls the narrative of any press conference that he's in. Anybody asking him said question probably wouldn't have access to his team anymore and would be on the list that he probably creates for an NFL of writers, reporters that wouldn't have access to the league anymore.
And let's go back to this, because he was actually 15. They're trying 15-year-olds as adults, especially young black ones.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't have it both ways. So let's suppose Ace, they came at me and said, look, we got this picture of you when you was 15, you're at a race riot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or, whatever it is you're doing, you're in misogynistic pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I was 14, 15. I didn't know better. And, I apologize. I'm donating money to women's rights groups.
You got to do something.
Jerry Jones said none of that, bro.
Because his mentality probably hasn't changed. Just making money and his idea of alleged white supremacy that he's had since he was 14, 15 years old. I mean, he didn't just happen upon it. It was given to him by his father, his grandfather, and now you're in a position of being the owner of an NFL team having a blank a blank check to just create money every year, affecting all of these lives, and you have no common decency to denounce racism. And I know you talk to lawyers and consulted to someone before you came out and said anything. And even after the J. Will comment and talk with Stephen A. Smith today, you need to be setting up a press conference.
Correct.
To address this situation, and he never will.
No, and because they're not holding them to the cold, raking them to the coals like they did Kyrie.
Yeah.
It goes back to what you said earlier about the difference between the black man's reality and the pink man's reality.
Absolutely.
That's been America's sin since day one. You know, if you take, all right, they said that when it broke, since he's only one of 7 team owners that never hired a black coach, they had him go to some sensitivity. They had these other black coaches show up.
Yeah.
Because what Jerry used as an excuse is, I hire people that I know. Remember, that was the narrative. I remember that. And we're not around any black people, which is problem one. But so, we just hire, like the regulators all hang out, and that's my guy, Ace, and he can coach, and I hired him. Fine. So what they did was they put together potential black coaches to meet with these owners.
Right.
And this guy got up there on the pulpit and started talking about how he pulled himself up from his bootstraps. And his first deal that he got, he asked his college coach from Arkansas, and we don't know what's in the state of Arkansas's heart, but he asked his college coach, I forgot the coach's name, to get somebody who he was trying to make a business deal with at Augusta. Okay. Now, he's telling these black players that his first business deal break he got came from when he worked out nepotism with his former college coach and said, look, can you do this favor for me and have this person play golf with us, and then I can talk business with him.
I can work it out.
He's so out of tune, Ace, that he didn't realize that blacks weren't even allowed to be at Augusta until 1990 or 91. 2, we don't have contacts. These people you're talking to that we're not part of the old boy system. That's the whole reason why we're here right now.
Right. Yeah.
And then go ahead. No. Yes.
Yeah. No interest in meeting anyone except for his buddies that were at the Augusta that he was commonly linked to playing with or creating business deals with, and that's the problem with the country now. You got all this old wealth that's not,
and we're not allowed in.
Right. And never will be.
And then I saw Keyshawn Johnson, bro, trying to make excuses for him, and and Keyshawn's from LA, and this mentality is spread all across America.
Uh-huh.
But I was hearing it here just so much when I first, he making money. How much money you got? And Jerry don't care. But Keyshawn was saying Jerry don't care about nothing until it affects his bottom line. Then why we ain't canceling him like y'all did Kanye?
Yeah. Cancel the Cowboys. He's got a damn $5 billion stadium that's funded with NFL money and the fans' money. And, I believe the NFL still have their non-for-profit status. Why can't we cancel that crap until he comes out and does something or says something?
Pay some money to the NAACP. Send some money to the Nation of Islam. I mean, all the stuff they had Kyrie doing.
Yeah, or the HBCUs, since he wanted to block the education of these young melanated students.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
There's some in Texas that need his help. That needs the state help.
But Ace, we decided, because remember, I got wind of this right after the show last week.
Right.
And had I known about it, we would have covered it last week. But we had this show planned and nobody was talking about it.
Right.
until LeBron came out.
Mhm.
And LeBron, you saw LeBron's interview, and LeBron is like, why ain't y'all? I've been waiting for y'all to ask me about this. They didn't even ask a Dallas Cowboy player how they feel about this. That should tell you who controls the media, which is essentially what Kyrie was saying in the first place, and Kanye.
Right. But we're going to sweep that under the rug because we're part of the problem instead of trying to find a solution. So since we're part of the problem, it's just like the elephant in the room that, you know, we're just going to ignore.
Yeah.
And it's okay with all of these teams and the NFL and the NBA and everybody that has to give interviews every night. We want to ask them about their personal business or, you know, the family or the cousin, instead of a person that's on a picture, that's an owner of a franchise that's allowed to just print money because there's only 32 NFL teams. So he's one of 32 that has the ability to affect people's lives. And he does on a daily basis. And
they said, had he said maybe even, okay, that was 65 years ago, which is what I was going into earlier, but I've changed. You know what I'm saying? I realized how ignorant we were. He said none of that. All he said was that was 65 years ago. We know how long ago it was, Jerry.
Right. So maybe that was part of the lawyer speak. Don't admit to anything. Don't apologize for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I guess, speak onto the existence of the photo, and that was a long time ago.
Well, Black Twitter and Black Internet was on this all week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was proud of LeBron. You know, he kind of pissed me off with the whole Kyrie thing.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked to have seen him
support that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. You know, all the things he said about this, he could have said then.
Yeah. You know, especially when you come out talking about your power and your platform.
Yes.
And your wealth and money.
Yes.
And all this. And then you got another incident that you can talk about, but you didn't feel questions for, even after you made your statement. To put, hey, he had an opportunity to put those particular reporters under the fire, which he kind of did, making a statement, but to get up and walk off and wait.
Correct.
Wait to see what anybody had to say would have been more of a noble feat, I believe.
You know, I didn't even look at it that way. And you're right, because I was interested, because remember, one of them started talking right away before LeBron.
Hey, wait a minute, I got this rehearsed. Don't jump in.
Stephen A. claims that if he was at that presser, he would have been asking LeBron about how he feels about Jerry Jones' situation. And that's a flat out, bold-faced lie, in my opinion.
Oh.
I do not believe, he just said Jerry's his boy. He's on his helicopter smoking cigars with him.
Yeah.
Wearing the cowboy hat, being his little booger.
Yeah. Letting him, you know, touch him. Whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, he probably did him like that.
Yeah. But to come out with such a bold-faced lie and say, out of all the things that you could have asked LeBron about, maybe the Lakers season and what's going on with his son, or are you going to stay and play with him? You're going to interrupt the press conference and say, what do you think about Jerry Jones? After you told the entire world that you're his stepson? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, step boy. Yeah, because he set the narrative. They use him to anchor the narrative.
Yeah.
You know, and let's not just go at him, because we are pointing out the boogers. But even all of the pink pundits who were turning pink, talking about Kyrie and Kanye and
about his tweet.
Yeah. They apparently had no issue at all with this.
Yeah, because it's the pictures they got of their grandfathers.
Yep.
The family album.
Yep. Yep. That's a great point.
That's just their history.
So to condemn him would be to condemn your ancestors and your legacy.
Right. Absolutely. Of course, they'll say, well, you know, I'm different. I have plenty of melanated friends. But, you know, this is, he got caught. He got busted. Being curious, according to Stephen H. Smith, when he could have been curious about anything else at that time, like learning how to play baseball.
Bro, that's intimidation, which is what you're pointing out. He's part of the intimidation crew. Ain't nobody stupid, man.
Right. Right. Right.
A 15-year-old can't say, let's just say they were black and that's a black rival gang and it's the first time the GDs are attending a VL Vice Lord school.
Yeah. There's going to be resistance, and I'm going up there to help them resist, and I know what's going on.
Correct. You know who these guys are that you pointed out with the cigarette. Correct.
Yeah, he's a damn leader of the KKK or the KKK of tomorrow, allegedly. And
well, you raise a great point because I didn't think about this, Ace. Jerry Jones actually didn't just absolve himself because I think he knows it's going to come out that some of these people he's still in bed with, he's still doing business with, because he started talking about none of the guys really understood what they were doing out there. Well, this guy sure knows what he's doing. Butch back there.
He knows exactly what he's doing. And to come and tell me that nobody knew what was going on. Why isn't there a ton of girls mixed into that crowd?
Correct.
Holding hands with it, hanging up. You know what you're there for. He definitely knows what he's there for. You want to flick that cigarette at one of those kids or whatever he can get to and do. And like I said, if there was a group of photographers behind this angry mob that's showing the photographers taking the pictures in front of them, then you would see everybody knew what was going on. That's what they were there for, to keep these black kids out of their school.
And let's do a quick thought experiment.
All right.
These young black melanated kings, Hebrews, I'd love to hear their point of view. See, this is what I'm talking about, journalism. They can find these guys and find out what was going on in this moment, but they won't dig deeper. But let's just go with this thought experiment. If these cats had those hats on that the Jewish community wear for their religion, and they happen to be Jewish, Azahnagi Jew, whatever they call them, and they were trying to attend a school with these kids, and this picture came out, and these kids were wearing like the hats, and they're just trying to go to school.
Right.
I wonder what the media's narrative would be. Would they be okay saying, oh, he's only 15? Would he not have to denounce anti-Semitism?
Of course he would have to denounce it because of the presence of the media. And you'd have the narrative of what just happened with Kyrie. It doesn't matter because these are young melanated youths. And this was what happened, according to Stephen A.
Right. That's how I went down in the South.
Yeah. So
but that didn't make it. Okay, my bad. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
It's because there's Jerry Jones wasn't in, in pictures over in Germany, and he wasn't at the gas chambers, or just because he wasn't throwing rocks at young Jewish youth trying to go to school.
Oh yeah, and then saying that's just how it was in Germany back then.
Yeah. So it's and to the point, there won't be any more journalism as far as finding out who these people in the photos are. I'm sure it's not hard. Most of them went to school at at that particular school.
The media is there. They interviewed him. They got a record of it. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So why can't, besides Jerry Jones, why can't we find everybody that's in this particular photo and find out their intent and find out what they were thinking, since Jerry Jones won't admit to it?
You're right. Why don't we talk to this guy with the cigarette in his mouth? At least make him say no comment or whatever he's going to say, and find out who these guys are and how they're related to Jerry Jones.
Right. Now, of course, probably a number of them have died or passed on or went to, wherever it's hot. But I'm sure they can find enough of those younger guys, or even some of the older guys that are in that video or in that photo, and get their comment on what they were there for, or before Jerry Jones gets to them and gives them a bag, to keep himself absolved, because he's absolved everybody in the picture.
Yeah, and I had to actually do some soul searching. I heard a couple of those boogers. What's his name? Used to be the running back for the Eagles. We covered him. Talking crazy about
Shady.
Yeah, Shady.
Yeah.
Shady talked down on him, but it was after LeBron said something about it. And on that show that Shady's on, they even said, we're part of the problem. We haven't covered this. Yeah, you think? But then the host of the show is a black man. He said, ex-football player. He was the one suggesting, why haven't they even talked to some Cowboys players? But why haven't the Cowboy players spoken up? And Shady was saying, well, that's their employer. So I had to think.
Okay.
If that's the CEO of my company I work for in that photo, do I speak out about it? Like our people, we act like the job we have is the only way to make money. I remember I worked for this company and it was a bunch of black folks working in the trenches. Of course, all the white folks were in management.
Yeah.
And we had a saying. I came in this place looking for a job, and I'll leave this place looking for a job. Like, to be an NFL player, I can understand some of the guys on the practice team, but I'm saying, when don't you walk out? Same thing, like they keep saying, I love LeBron, his platform. When do you stand up?
Yeah. It was easy to not play those games when you had the George Floyd murder. We're not playing today, or all the different murders that were going on at that time by the police. But when it's not easy. It's not easy to go with the narrative. When do you? Kaepernick gave him a perfect opportunity. None of them stood by. And your boy Campbell Soup Man, Dak, who I used to love before the Kaepernick thing, because he supported Jerry and the ownership. Right.
He came right out and said he don't have a problem with the picture, and the guy was only 15. So I'm gonna ask you, man, like, what's your take? Like, when I saw the picture, it didn't make me angry because I've seen these pictures all the time. But I can't help but put myself in the shoes of those melanated kids that are, in that position.
Trying to get education. They were shipped there against their will.
Paving the way for myself and guys like Booger A. Smith to go to school, better schools, go to his college he went to, although he went to a black school, but had the opportunity, paving the way. These guys paved the way for us, bro.
Yeah. Now the harder part for me to understand is you have this photo, but you also have some historical records, either by photo or video, of what happened that day. So as a journalist, I want to go back and find out what happened past this picture.
Oh, you mean in the microfiche?
Right, or before this picture. Because even if Jerry was being curious, everybody there wasn't just being curious. There were adults there that brought those kids. The kids were there. The police, probably the dogs were out there. But you're showing us this wholesome racist picture as opposed to a narrative of exactly what happened that day at that school.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to leave it here just because Jerry was in this particular picture. We're not going to show everything else that went on that day at that particular school. When I know there's more footage, there's more photography, and they just didn't want to let the whole cat out of the bag, so to say, for that date in history when he was just curious. So, you know,
and he hasn't shown us anything, the alleged illegitimate baby.
Oh, yeah.
But he hasn't shown us anything in these 65 years to make us feel like this is a one-off to believe anything that he's saying in relationship to this picture.
Absolutely. Because he can't. He's rich and he's going to be who he is.
You know what's in his heart, bro.
Yeah.
You know, he won't hire a black coach.
Right. Right. Even in a situation where his team was playing terrible and he wouldn't make a move to hire a black coach. You know, he tried to Dennis Green.
Makes up a story about he don't even interview his coaches.
Yeah.
He hires people he knows.
You're the owner, the general manager, you're the El Capitan or whatever you want for this entire franchise and for basically the NFL, because he's one of the oldest owners and most influential owners in the league. So
it's the most valuable sporting team in the world. But go ahead.
Again, going back to, like I said, the collusion against Colin Kaepernick, he had to be one of the leaders.
Hell yeah.
Of what was going on, especially as he came out and told his team if they agreed with him or knelt with him, there would be costly consequences and
correct.
So come on, man. Let's stop it. Make him either apologize, do something for HBCUs or other disenfranchised youths that are trying to get to school, or make them sell a team.
And see, and one point that LeBron didn't drive home, because you weren't on the show when we covered the Kyrie.
Yeah.
That it was the castration once again.
Oh yeah. Well.
You know, the expectation for us, like you might do something at work and you got to talk to this manager and then you got to talk to the upper manager and we can't have you come back. You're going to be suspended till you figure it out. And then some, drop dead gorgeous blonde haired blue eyed kid does the same thing and it's he's just he's just go back to your desk. He's just you know what I mean? It's just no big deal. And that was the whole point. Kyrie is a man. Don't y'all recognize him as a man? And he even came out and said, he didn't say those words right away. I apologize, but he said, I'm not anti-Semitic. Basically, he was saying, I'm not going to apologize for something that I'm not,
right.
And why don't they get Nick Friedel to ask him some questions in a press conference with that same energy?
That'll never happen. Not at all. Not at all. And you castrated Kyrie for something that was basically made up by the media. It was a retweet of something that he saw. So that turns into whatever narrative we put together as far as him being anti-Semitic and hating, being, putting hate speech, as this network would say, out towards a certain group of people. So it's sickening that in this small time frame, you have these two examples of events going on in history. One was just a tweet, but you have a picture, a photo of actual hate, and nobody has any type of comment or disregard for this individual.
Well, it's okay because it was 65 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Sure. It was 65 years ago. What if he was standing next to the guy that they brought a photo up of the guy that pulled the trigger on Martin Luther King or Medgar Evers, and he was just, peering over his shoulder, being curious.
Or okay, he's 15. How old was the late Emmett Till?
Right.
Who got lynched on a lie. But that's, so he's 50, Jerry Jones is 15, he gets a pass. Emmett Till's 15, he gets lynched.
He gets death. And even with the person that perpetrated the lie never faced any consequences, even after she admitted that.
Never.
Lying.
No lawsuit, no punitive damages, no criminal charges, nothing.
Right. Wrongful. I would have sued her for wrongful death. I don't know who's left after Emmett's mother passed, but you got it's wrongful death because of your lie. Pay your reparations to the Till family, or maybe to a young man who could have been president of the United States. Our history is just killed, swept under the rug at the earliest convenience, but we have to hear everyone else's history for our entire lifetimes. It's, it is what it is, and we know why it is.
Yeah. All right, man. Go ahead and give me your final words and close this out, bro. Small ups to Jerry Jones.
Very small ups to Jerry Jones. Very small ups to our booger of the week, who stepped out and defended his friend, his buddy. I got a video to send you on him and his buddy and how he probably is perceived in Jerry Jones' household. But very small ups. The fact that Kyrie had to go through this situation and be vilified across the world by the media. You have Jerry
for 3 weeks.
Yeah, for retweeting a movie, and you have a person who's a owner of an NFL franchise who didn't have to face any consequences of being at a school entryway that were keeping melanated kids from trying to just get an education. They were sent to segregated schools. Of course, they knew that they were in a dangerous situation. They had to leave their houses with fear that morning, and possibly being martyrs to just get an education. And had it swept under the rug, as well as the other scumbag in Mississippi that stole money from the poor in your Brett Favre, to all that, have that swept under the rug, by the same media. It's just painful that we have to go through this week after week, and then there'll be something else next month that they're covering up, but they'll come out with a
overplay for the other, the underplay, because they're focusing on Handy J now instead of talking about this. But go ahead, bro.
Right, you got the Lamar Jackson
tweet,
to a fan after a tough game.
Homophobia, they're all over him, right?
Yeah, and you jump out with the Handy J protest in a luxury box. That's a heck of a protest by these individuals have been, I guess, paid, and I'm sure there's a clause that goes along with their payment for them to keep their mouths closed about this particular case, certain NDA agreements. So, I just hope that maybe this will bring together, the particular athletes, attorneys, wealthy, or those trying to attain wealth to know that they have to have each other's backs. You can't let an athlete or a person or a young man of Kyrie's ilk be vilified across the world for a tweet and then allow something like this to go on. I don't know what was in LeBron's heart. At least he stepped out and said something. I know a lot of people won't, because they fear the power of the media that Jerry Jones has. But, you have all of these opportunities, these platforms to say something, do something, and this power. So do something, say something, make something happen. Protect Kyrie, protect LeBron if they come after him, which, I doubt they will, because he made a pretty safe statement and got out of there. But we got to stick together, because they always will. The media will stick together, the owners will stick together, and they'll pit us against one another. So that's my final word. Hopefully this is another jumping off point. You had the time frame of Kyrie to help you. You had the time frame of Colin Kaepernick to help you. Just pick a time and make something happen. Make a stand. Those who don't stand up will kneel down for their entire lives. So stand up. That's my final word.
Hey, that was well said. And I have a prediction that they'll probably start knocking down LeBron a few pegs. It's not going to happen immediately, but give it about 3 months or so. They'll come up with some dirt or something on LeBron, because that's how these billionaires and the cabal moves.
Yeah.
You mentioned hope. I hope we stop hoping. The system of white supremacy is alive and well. It's doing what it does. These are just, examples of it. And it won't stop until we stop it. As a result of the Colin Kaepernick, I didn't watch football for 2 years. I just got back into it this year, just only for the Bears, and just in time, and they make it tough.
Yeah.
The NFL makes it really tough to appreciate their product these days. You made a great point earlier. If this was some kid standing there in Auschwitz, I think the narrative would be different. You'd be saying, what, that was 75 years ago. We don't know what's in his heart. Apparently that's what they're doing for this. And it's ironic, though, because what's done in the dark will come to the light. Evidence of this picture. Kyrie even said it. What are we talking about here? I'm a black man. He wasn't saying that to say we're absolved of ignorance, but we can't be racist, because racism is a system of oppression. And this guy, in my opinion, Jerry Jones, is the poster boy for racism. When issues come up, and Colin, now I see why he was so angry at Colin. It had nothing to do with his money. this is, and there was Stephen A back then, and this is, affecting their bottom line, and they care about their bottom line. The slave owners cared about their bottom line too.
Absolutely.
Did that make it any less immoral? I'll say as a people, Ace, I've heard comments that, Black folks should have been more enraged. Yeah, we had issues with it from the jump. I saw it all over the internet. It's just that we don't control the narrative.
Right.
We don't control the narrative. I'd be interested in hearing Colin Kaepernick's take on this, though. He's been quiet. Yeah, I'd be interested in hearing Colin's take. But yeah, so you guys, that's all I got for my final words. But you cats tune in to the Self-Love Show. The Self-Love Show. That's Wednesday right here on TATN at 8 p.m. Central Standard. That's where we're going to. Next week, we're covering rethinking our definition of success as a Black nation of people. Again, is it all about the bag? Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, rest her soul, she talked about it. In the 90s, she was writing about it, essays about, we always heard it on the block.
Yeah, just get your money. Talking that white and black stuff, man. You just gotta get your money out here. You just gotta get your money.
And not just street dudes, the educated. Just stack as much money. What has that done for us, Ace? Stacking money as individuals. Yes, it's done nothing for us. But I'm not saying not to get your money, but we're going to redefine what it means to be successful as a Black man in the United States. And that's a serious topic, Ace. And then next week on Mouthpiece Included, we're going to take a look at a mock draft for the Bears, how we'll make some moves. I'm sure we'll have some other topics to unpack for you cats as well. But right now, tentatively, that's going to be the hottest topic. Mouthpiece Included. So if you find yourself ever sliding or dipping through the great city of Chi, South Side, West Side, North Side, Far East, check your blind spot. Check your six. Watch your back. Keep your dome on a swivel. Guard your grill. Knuckle up. And don't forget to. And don't forget to protect yourself at all times. And don't forget to bring your mouthpiece.